Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm Brent.
And this is Lydia.
And this is the channel that we have made called Adventures with Brent and Lydia. So this is a new week. We are starting the week off with actually meeting up with the roads for one of our favorite brunch spots. I guess they're going to the farmer's market, which we're not doing that. We've already recorded that a couple of different times already. So, yeah. It's been interesting, let's put it that way. It's been a couple of tough weeks for me. And, as I said in the last video, I believe I have a telehealth appointment with my doctor to kind of figure out what my next step is. Yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. So we're headed downtown to what, the mailroom, right?
Yes.
So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. And on this particular video, probably going to do a couple of different rides. I'm going to try to fit one in today, at least get you guys some new footage as far as that's concerned, because I probably mentioned it in the last video, but I changed my helmet, and this one has like Bluetooth integrated, so I can actually use the integrated Bluetooth for the microphone, so you'll actually be able to hear what I'm saying, hopefully. But from the last video as well, or either the last one or the one before, the bike is running again. It just had a dead battery. That's always like, that's not the first time that's happened, to where I've went out to the bike and it went click, 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 click. Really?
She is Italian.
Yeah,
She's
so Italian motorcycles, I love them to death, I do. But they are the most finicky bike probably in the existence of man. They are what they are, kind of have their own personality, and I'm not just talking about Moto Guzzi here, I'm talking about like all Italian motorcycles. But with all that said, you know, we just hope to kind of bring you along this week and kind of tell you what we're doing. I actually have something going on Thursday, which hopefully I might be able to ride my motorcycle to that. And on Thursday I'll kind of explain what's going on. But for now, that's where I'm at. What about you, Lydia?
I don't have much. I gotta get the house ready for the Sabbath and everything. So yeah, I'm not like very exciting. Sorry.
Don't let her kid you. She's had a rough couple of weeks as well. The humidity's been absolutely crazy here in Tennessee. At least it was yesterday. It doesn't seem as bad today. But we're kind of in this like weird, like, it's not the official rain season, okay? Like, the official rain season is like February, March, believe it or not. But over the summer, sometimes we have like these weird rainy days, and it seems like it's every other day. So the humidity's fairly high because of all the rivers around here. But anyways, I'm gonna keep this pretty short and sweet as far as the introduction's concerned, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe. We really appreciate those that have taken the chance on us and subscribed to the channel, because it means a lot. You know, like, we don't really know what we're doing. We're just kind of living in the moment. But, you know, we hope to grow the channel and grow some of the other stuff as well. So we'll probably have, I probably said it briefly in the last video, but we're gonna have kind of a neat announcement at some point this week. It's just something that we're trying, and when everything comes in, we'll kind of share with you what we're doing. But until then, we'll see you a little bit later.
Bye, guys.
Alright, hey guys and girls. I'm about to go for a ride here and pick up a few things. So hopefully everything will work. I'm trying out my new phone, or not my new phone, helmet, but it does connect to my phone and my helmet, so we'll see how this works, and hopefully it'll work like a charm. If not, then back to the drawing boards, I guess. So the last couple of weeks have been extremely frustrating, just in general, with everything that's been going on with me. I feel like this is like my only escape right now. And even then, like, you know, it's not really a huge escape, if you will. So yeah, we've been having a lot of technical issues as far as computer, as far as the cameras, as far as like connections. I mean, like, last couple of weeks has just been really frustrating in that regard, because my heart goes out to other creators for sure, because like this isn't easy, you know, to document your life and to document, you know, like rides and stuff, and put it all together, and then like try to give out the best content that we have or we can even give. It's just been a challenge. But anyways, I'm riding out to Walmart, hopefully, to pick up some prescriptions for Lydia, and then I need to run and get some prescriptions for me. So hers is like a little bit more pressing, because like I kind of waited a little late to go and do this ride over there, because yeah, well, it's not that I was being lazy or anything, it's just been extremely tired as well. So I've tried to do this a couple of times, so let me try to do this again. So I mentioned that I was in the 59 Club, and haven't really given you guys a big background related to the 59 Club. So it's a motorcycle enthusiast club that started back in 1959, hence the name 59. And it was the Anglican Church that actually put it together for the youth in London at the time. And there was a phenomenon that was happening that they tried to basically like stop it from happening, but they couldn't. So the Wild One, the movie with Marlon Brando, actually came out in 1953. And that's important to know, because of the fact that this phenomena basically happened everywhere, like all over the world at the same time frame. So it was right after World War II, and things were just kind of changing all over the world. And one of the things that changed is like motorcycles were no longer like a cool thing anymore, based off of society, right? So people were essentially like throwing out their motorcycles. And especially in London, because at the same time in the early 50s, the Mini Cooper was actually built and created. So for the same amount that they were spending on motorcycles, they could get a car that, you know, we didn't have to worry about rain and weather and stuff like that. So the car phenomenon was actually happening faster in Europe at the time than what it was here in the States. As far as like the necessity of cars, specifically like small economical cars, because the streets in specifically in London are completely different than what's here in the United States. It's all really tight quarters. I mean, you're talking about a city that's been around for several thousand years on top of that. So, with that being said, so there was a guy who was like, I can't remember what the position was called, but I consider him one of my heroes of the faith, even though I'm not Anglican. And his name was Jonathan Oates, or John Oates, and he was kind of like the head of the church at the time, and he saw the need for having some type of youth program, specifically in London. And so this phenomenon kind of happened to where, like, all these kids were getting these motorcycles. They essentially were pulling them out of the trash and rebuilding them and trying to make them go faster and faster. Hence the name rockers, because they also listen to rock and roll music simultaneously. So, so the rockers are listening to basically American rock. One of the main musicians that they would go to is, I mean, outside of the ones that you guys know, but like Gene Vincent was like one of the biggest names at the time during this. So the 59 Club started, but was actually started by Johnny Oates as far as the ministry was concerned. And then there was a guy by the name of Bill Shergold, who was a pastor in the Anglican Church. And he was actually a biker enthusiast, loved motorcycles, actually had several, and in fact rode in a couple of different clubs. Now I'm not talking about 1%er clubs, I'm talking about like riding clubs, like racing clubs. A fun fact about most 1%er groups and motorcycle clubs in general is that they actually got their roots in racing. So I would say like 95% of the clubs that you hear about actually started in racing all the way back then. So that's basically what Bill Shergold did. Is he raced motorcycles and he rode motorcycles, and he was what we would call hardcore. Like that was his main means of transportation most of the time. So there was this place that some of you guys probably already know about in London called Ace Cafe. And Ace Cafe has been through a lot of different changes over the years. It's actually run out of business twice. But essentially, it was a hangout because it was essentially a truck stop, and it was open 24 hours back in the day. So that's basically like where all this started, was at Ace Cafe. And so in Ace Cafe, basically what was going on is that these kids were going there to hang out and take their motorcycles and stuff like that. Well, Bill Shergold, there's a couple of different stories related to him as far as like him showing up at Ace Cafe one night. The first time, supposedly, I believe it was 1960 or so, give or take. And that first time that he went over there, he actually essentially like left, and apparently like it was like a tough night. Because there was a lot of riffraff there, a lot of riffraff, and like we're talking about youth, right? So like ages probably ranged from like 14 to 21, right? And Bill Shergold finally goes in, and keep in mind he's got a vicar collar on. But what he would do is he would hide it behind his silk scarf. Now, it's that's actually something that's really significant in the culture. I'll probably explain that one time here, but nevertheless, he hid his vicar collar behind that, so nobody knew he was actually a pastor, which was kind of magical in a way because like they pretty much fully accepted him right away, and so with that being said, like he went in there and he just posed a question. He asked, is there any way that some of you youth would actually be interested in coming to like a hangout? And a lot of them were like, yeah, that'd be cool. And so part of the idea behind it is that the not just the Anglican Church, but Bill Shergold was trying to actually get the youth out of some of the places that they were causing so much trouble, and essentially stop wrecking them, because they would get into fights and everything else. There's supposedly like some of the hangouts still have those like marks on the wall and stuff like that, as far as you know, like how rowdy it would get. And so with that said, I mean, like it was a really, really rowdy place. And Bill Shergold goes in, he poses the question, and at 19, so it started out with maybe like, I think if I remember correctly, it was about like 40 members, 40 to 60 members. And with that said, you know, what was so crazy about that is that by 1962, there was over 500 members all over the UK. So yeah, it basically exploded, and so then they had like a hostel that they had at one time. I think that closed up in the early 70s, but they had an issue with locations for many years, because like it's not that these kids were rowdy or anything. They just they were considered misfits of society, you know, like leather jackets, riding motorcycles, and listening to fast, loud music. And in a certain sense, has always been like the faux pas, if you will, of like the culture of the day. So, with that said, you know, like that's kind of the issue. Is that like you know, people have presuppositions about a lot of people. And, like, if you automatically fit that bill, you're considered a scumbag, you know? Like, I've been looked at that way for the way that I dress and the way that I look. But at any rate, and then you had, like, these really interesting situations to where, like, during their meetings, Bill Shergold, if they were going to go on a big, massive ride, would actually bring all the motorcycles inside the church and do a blessing over the motorcycles. And, like, one of the details that's interesting is that there was a Baptist church, of course it was a Baptist church, that actually took them in right outside of London, actually, and that's been the headquarters ever since. And that was in the early to mid-'70s when that took place, so they've been in the same location for quite a while, which is awesome. So yeah, it's not your typical, like, you know, motorcycle club in the sense that, like, you know, yeah, they have meetings and, like, stuff like that, but, like, it's completely different in that world. And because it's in London, you know, Lydia and I probably will never, well, I'm not going to say never, but it's going to be a long time before we ever actually go over to London with us living in Tennessee to actually, you know, like, hang out with the people that really, like, we call family. So here's a little story about how cool this group is. So we were actually updating our membership early this year. It was like in January, I believe. And so as long as you're like a motorcycle enthusiast, you can join. So, you know, Lydia is one of those people that, like, she's an enthusiast, right? But, like, she can't ride because of her condition, or she's uncomfortable to want to even try. So with that said, it's like, you know, even though I got her the scooter, like she's only got on it once and she dropped it and it kind of freaked her out, and I get it. I've dropped my bike a couple of different times, actually 3 times. The one was almost fatal. I've been very fortunate though as far as like all that's been concerned. But with that said, like, so Haley is like not necessarily a rider, and when asked like, hey, what do you ride for the membership, she was like, well, I don't ride because of my health. You know, I've been going through it as far as my health is concerned. And so the person who does all the memberships actually, like, when she got a membership card, said, hey, we're praying for you. Like, here's these people that, like, we don't really know them personally. And we know them because of the love of motorcycles, and we know them because of the idea, right, of just, like, what 59 represents. And, like, that meant the world to both of us because, like, they acknowledged the fact that, you know, Lydia's been having such a hard time. And, man, that was cool. That was, like, one of the coolest experiences related to this whole thing. So, like, I've been wanting to try to bring that culture here to the States. The problem with that is like, so you don't have to have a specific motorcycle, you just have to be an enthusiast. So, like, whether you're a Harley rider, whether you're a Moto Guzzi rider, whether you're a Triumph rider, that doesn't matter. It's all about knees in the breeze, baby. Knees in the breeze. So with that said, it's like, you know, that's the reality, right? And there's so many of these, like, dysfunctional people within the motorcycle community that, like, oh, well, you know, it's not a bike if it's not a Harley. And, like, that's fine if you have that mentality, but, you know, how we should really look at it is, like, dude, you're riding. Like, there's already a tight-knit community as it is, and now you're wanting to basically be that way. Like, that's not good, guys. Like, it's really not. So, you know, understand that, like, that's never a good scenario when you essentially kind of, like, be that way towards people. Oh, great. There's like a little pothole thing that's right in front of me. There we go. Got it. So my first stop is Walmart, which I'm almost there now. But with all that said, you know, like, there's a lot of issues in the culture about that, especially here in the Middle Tennessee area and, like, in Middle America, like Middle South, as we call it. But with all that said, I mean, like, yeah, it's definitely an issue for sure. And you know, all of us just want to get along at this point. You know, I follow several different, like, motorcycle-related channels, and it's getting to the point where I think it's Demon's Row, which I don't know if you guys follow that or not, but he seems like a really interesting fellow. I'd love to actually meet him one day. But he was in a 1%er club for years, and with all that said, I mean, like, yeah, he made a valid point. You know, he was like, hey, what if we all, like, joined together? Like, what happens if all of us bikers get together, regardless of what you ride, regardless of what your status is, but we all get together and we start, you know, like, really focusing on the fact of, like, this is America, this represents us. But anyways, I just got here and getting her parked and shut off and all that, but anyways, that's the whole history of the 59 Club. Well, guys, I'm gonna go inside and get the stuff that I need, and hopefully I'll get it going again. But I'll catch up with you guys here in a little bit.
idea if it will be. So, I'll catch up with you guys here in a minute. Alright, we're back. Hopefully my mic is still connected because I didn't shut off the camera this time, so I was in and out fairly quickly, which is kind of unusual, but I'm not complaining. So, yeah. Keys always help. And as Lydia would say, home again, jiggity jig.
hope you guys enjoyed this ride a little bit. I know it probably didn't seem like it was too long of a ride, which it kind of wasn't. But I'm just trying to give you guys the best content I can. Let's become header revs. Alright guys and gals, since we're home now, come on, join our neutral. There we go. This thing is like a Harley sometimes as far as like getting in a neutral. That's just Italian motorcycles for you. Alright, well I'll catch you guys later.
Hey, good morning everybody. It's Sunday morning.
Happy Lord's Day.
Yeah, it's been a rough morning so far for me. Still having, pancake Sunday. Still having spasms pretty bad. My face is actually probably dragging to that one side even more than usual, I would probably say.
But there are many hardships in life except eating pancakes.
It's a quote from Charles Spurgeon for those that want to know. Yeah, we just came on this morning to say good morning, and we're still alive, I guess.
Happy Lord's Day.
Yeah, Lydia is more cheerful than I am, sorry. But
Brent says I'm incapable of being grumpy.
I wouldn't say incapable, but
Fine, I'll be grumpy.
yeah, right. You can stop anytime now. Better tuck that bottom lip back in. You're going to get it caught on a tripwire.
I'm going to be grumpy.
Yeah, this is what I have to deal with, guys. Anyways, yeah, I'm not real sure how long I'm going to be able to last today, but we'll give it our best go. It's supposed to be like a potluck Sunday at our church, but if I'm feeling anything, yeah, Lydia and I kind of like we're expecting to leave, to be honest, because it's been pretty difficult on me the past couple of weeks. But anything else to add?
No. The Lord's Day is my favorite day because I get to fellowship with the saints, and we get to join the saints in heaven by praising God. Yay!
Yeah. This is really how Lydia is most of the time, to be honest. She's a hopeful optimistic, and I'm kind of a hopeful pessimist. But yeah, I'm also not like I'm extremely introverted, so I know that doesn't seem that way, but anybody that knows me really well knows that I'm really introverted. With that said, I guess we'll catch up with you guys either in the car or a little bit later. So we'll see you in a while. Hey guys, it's Monday afternoon, and we're coming at you from a different perspective here. Lydia's actually having a pretty rough time as far as just breathing and stuff like that. So pardon the way that she looks, because she's just she's having some stomach issues and stuff like that. I had a pretty bad night last night as far as symptoms are concerned. So just bear with us, okay? We appreciate you guys' patience, but we're actually turned on the camera for a bit of a reveal. So we kind of briefly mentioned it maybe in the last video, but if we didn't, we are actually trying to also do photography. And so I got a little bit of an older model. It's a Canon 50D, which I know is a little bit older, but it was had a really high review. But nevertheless, I'm going to switch the camera around, and Lydia can kind of reveal the actual camera and whatnot. It's big and bulky, but hey, it's a camera. So we flip the camera around here.
Here's the camera.
All right, Lydia, what do we got?
A big old camera that I'm just going to try to figure out how to work. And then go from there. It has this little Dumaflitchy, which I don't know what this Dumaflitchy is.
That is probably so you can take the pictures from a distance, I would imagine.
I guess. But, yep. So here it is, guys.
So this particular camera is like one of the older models that actually has the disc in it, as far as the memory, instead of actually like a little memory card. So it is, like I said, it's a little bit older, but because of the fact that we didn't know exactly, well, I'll be honest, we really don't know what we're doing, but we're just trying to have some fun, and hopefully we'll be able to figure out how it works and start doing some photography. Both Lydia and I actually have a real passion for just pictures and you know, stuff like that, but nevertheless. And then I know she probably might have revealed her camera, but I put that in the little box that has everything in it too. And
Oh, it is. Oh,
this is a little cool little camera that I found out about on Instagram. It's called the Camp Snap. And what's so cool about these, and by no means is this like me, you know, I'm not affiliated with them. I bought it with my own money. But what's really, really cool about this camera is that it actually puts kind of like the disposable cameras from our childhood, right? It basically takes pictures like that. So there's no screen. So you take the shot and you don't even know how it looks until you decide to upload it. So it's really, really entertaining to watch her take this around town, because she'll just pull it out and start randomly taking pictures of stuff. And this little thing holds like 500 pictures. It's crazy. But nevertheless, we just want to give you a quick update as to what was kind of going on and whatnot. So yeah. Got anything else to add, Lydia?
nope.
All right, well, we'll see you a little bit later in the week. Got a couple of things going on this week. One of which I'm not going to probably talk about until it happens. So with that being said, I mean, yeah, we'll keep you posted and kind of keep you involved with throughout the week. All right, we'll see you guys later. Hey, what's up, y'all? It is Friday, and if you haven't noticed, our videos have been a little bit shorter the past couple of times, just because, well, I haven't really been doing that great, and Lydia's been struggling as well.
And I've also been busy at work. The last week of the month for my job is extremely busy. So.
Yeah, so the last couple of videos are probably going to be, I don't know, I mean, there's still going to be at least like 30 minutes, but nevertheless, we just wanted to give you guys like a really, really quick update. It seems as though my symptoms are getting worse as time is going on, but with that being said, I have an appointment next week with my neurologist. It's just like a telehealth to kind of see like where to go from here. Today was actually kind of an interesting day in general. Lydia didn't want me to say this.
Yeah,
but
not yet.
You sure?
Yeah, just
Okay.
on the safe side.
Well, there might be a potential update as far as like all of my work situation is concerned, but we're gonna leave it alone for now until we know for sure. That should hint you as to what I'm working on a little bit, but other than that, got a new computer. This should go a heck of a lot faster now.
Yeah.
So we should be able to be on schedule a little bit better now. But other than that, I mean, I don't know, it's just been kind of interesting. It's been an interesting couple of weeks. But tomorrow starts our new video series, as far as like something that we're trying to work on, and we're going to take you guys along. That'll be in the next video. But with that being said, just to give you a little bit of an update, we are giving photography a try. So I have 3 photos that I've edited. We're trying to kind of keep it like black and white, or like a certain style of photos, but nevertheless, what's the website called where we're going to post them?
PicFair.
We're giving PicFair a try. So it's kind of like a marketing website for photographers. And you can take pictures however you see fit. I'm kind of an old school guy, so I like to have the camera in hands. As you guys probably might have saw in one of these videos, the camera that I got was a camera that was built in 2008, so it's a little bit older. but it's the Canon 50D. Of its time, and still even today, it's probably one of the best cameras to start out on.
Yeah, it's a workhorse. So.
It's a workhorse. It's got a solid metal frame. It's a DSLR, which I'm learning this, but I didn't know the difference between like a mirrorless and a DSLR until recently. And basically, one's better for recording, and the other one's better for pictures. So, because that is such an older camera, there's no video capability in it whatsoever, and that's kind of what I wanted.
Yeah.
I wanted that media to kind of stay in that media. Obviously, we're going to have crossovers here and there, but yeah, we're hoping this next week to get a little bit more recorded if we can. So yeah, we'll keep you guys updated as far as like my work situation is concerned. Lydia has just been really busy this week. Like she said, she had to work some kind of weird hours for a couple of days. Weird for her, because her job is like an 8 to 5 job. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. You got anything else that you want to add?
Next night's Pizza in the Movie, so we're watching
Pizza in the Movie.
Hillbilly Elegy, which is about J.D. Vance's life. As most people know, he is the vice president candidate under Trump.
I know nothing about this, by the way.
Neither do I, but I read part of his biography because I was curious on who this guy is. I want to find out. And it turns out he wrote this book called Hillbilly Elegy, a memoir, and they turned it into a movie. Who would have thunk it? So I figured, why not?
But at any rate, yeah. So we're just kind of chilling at home tonight. We don't have any like real like definitive plans. I also might, and this is a big might, start doing some gaming. I got a couple of games on the new computer. We're kind of throwing around the idea of getting like a Twitch account. Throwing it around. My problem is that I only like 2 different styles of games, which is Star Wars and also Assassin's Creed. I just like RPGs to where you become the character. I get lost in those games, to be honest.
And I like watching them because it's like a story.
Yeah,
like
so I
stories.
mean, if you guys like RPGs, let us know in the comments. But that's about all I got, guys, at least for this week. Like I said, you got anything else to add?
No, that was it.
All right, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and that means a world to us when you do that. Because we're such a small account right now, and again, like we're trying to build this media company literally from scratch with basically no experience. So we're learning with you. The last podcast went up a few days ago, or what was it? About a week ago, right?
Yeah.
This next one, not really sure as to what direction we're going to go in right now.
A couple of topics out there.
There's a couple of topics. I don't want to reveal too much yet, but I will say one of them is going to be absolutely shocking because of just how deep that rabbit hole goes. And if y'all know how my partner in crime Cleveland is, and my other partner in crime Lydia is, and you guys got a glimpse into my personality, you're gonna know that like when we say it's off the wall, it's off the wall. But with that being said, we'll try to update you guys when we get some more. Well, we have something to say or want to show you. I am gonna, of course, obviously this is the next video, so. But yeah, I should be able to try to get some more riding in to give you guys some of that footage. I got some. Got a new helmet that kind of helped out, which you guys saw earlier in this video. So, with all that being said, we'll check you guys in the next one.
See you later. Bye.